Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live, and let's continue with the series of who I believe is the best player in each NFL team's franchise history, the GOAT of their all-time franchise. So I've been doing these in alphabetical order. We're done with 16 to 32 teams. On to the 17th, second half. So today's team is the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders were the Oakland Raiders from 1960 until 1981. The Los Angeles Raiders from 1982 to 1994. Back to being the the Oakland Raiders from 1995 to 2019, and have been known as the Las Vegas Raiders since 2020. So 65 years of their franchise that we'll be looking at. Now, two off seasons ago, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by team. Four best players in each team's history in my eyes. Last off season, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by position. Four best players at each position in NFL history. So before I name the GOAT, I've just been revisiting my Mount Rushmores for each team for each video. Seeing if I would make any changes in the 2 years that have passed before I name the GOAT of the team. So when I did the Raiders, I had Tim Brown. Tim Brown played 16 years with the Raiders, 1,070 catches, 14,734 yards, 99 touchdowns. Willie Brown inducted the Hall of Fame in 1984, 12 seasons, 39 interceptions for the Raiders. Jim Otto played his entire 15-season career with the Raiders. And Gene Upshaw, two offensive linemen. Upshaw inducted the Hall of Fame in 1987, played his whole 15-season career with the Raiders. Some guys I named as honorable mentions include Art Shell, Kenny Stabler. We got Steve Wisniewski, Derek Carr, Ray Guy, Lester Hayes, Ted Hendricks, Rich Gannon, Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen, Todd Christensen, Dave Casper, Shane Leckler, Greg Townsend, Jack Tatum, Terry McDaniel, Charles Woodson, Fred Biletnikoff, Cliff Branch, and Daryle Lamonica, to name a few. So I'm going to keep the Mount Rushmore as is. There was some tough calls, hard leaving off a guy like um, Art Shell or Kenny Stabler, but they are very close honorable mentions, very close to being Mount Rushmore guys in my eyes. But anyhow, the guy I believe is the best player in franchise history is center Jim Otto. Yes, that's right, a center, but arguably the best center of all time. He was drafted in the 1960 AFL draft by the Oakland Raiders out of Miami, Florida. As mentioned, played his whole 15-year career with the Raiders. First ballot Hall of Famer in 1980. All 15 years with the Raiders, and not only all 15 years with the Raiders, he did not miss a game. We take a look at his season by season via his Pro Football Reference. Of course, not as many stats with the offensive lineman, but you see games played, 14 in all 15 of his seasons. Though he played back when it was a 14-game schedule, so never missed a game. As mentioned, Pro Bowls galore, 12-time Pro Bowler, and a 10-time first team All Pro. Now, his 12 Pro Bowls are the second most ever by an offensive lineman, only behind Bruce Matthews, and he's tied with Will Shields and Randall McDaniel. He's a 10-time first team All Pro. That's tied for the most in NFL history at any position with the great wide receiver Jerry Rice. So consistently seen as one of the best centers in the NFL, actually the best center in the NFL. Pro Football Reference has something called approximate value. Basically, if a guy has like a 10, it's a Pro Bowl like season. Well, he had a total of 12 seasons with at least a 10, numerous seasons with a 13. Jim Otto was named as the best center of all time by Gil Brandt of NFL.com. When I did my Mount Rushmore of centers, I included him, Mel Hine, Dwight Stevenson, and Mike Webster. I would, if I revisited, I would think about including Jason Kelsey, but it wouldn't be over Jim Otto. So just what a career for Otto. Again, arguably the best center of all time. He is my GOAT, the best Raider in team history. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, who you think is the best player in franchise history. Really, all four of the guys I put on my Mount Rushmore um, have a strong case. I just went with Otto. With each of these, I've been taking a look at the active roster and seeing if anyone currently playing with the team I believe has a shot to overtake the GOAT or at least make the Mount Rushmore. I don't anticipate anyone currently on the Raiders surpassing Jim Otto, but a guy like Max Crosby definitely maybe as a case by the end of his career, 52 sacks in 5 seasons, three top six defensive player of the year. Excuse me, two top six defensive player of the year finishes. A guy like Devontae Adams came to the Raiders too late to really have a case. They signed Christian Wilkins to a big deal, but you know he's played numerous seasons with Miami. Going to be tough for him to get on. So honestly, maybe Max Crosby as a Mount Rushmore guy, but don't anticipate anyone else finding their way on. But again, let me know in the comments who you think the best Raider of all time is, who you would include on their Mount Rushmore. Stay tuned for tomorrow when I attempt to name who I believe is the best Los Angeles Chargers player of all time. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.